Welcome to the Soul Medicine Podcast with Dr. Laura Brennis, a space where we explore healing through the body, the mind, the soul, and the spirit. Have you ever noticed how certain thoughts repeat over and over again in your mind? The same thought in the same situations almost automatically? And most of the time, we don't question them. We hear them and we believe them, without stopping to ask, where did this come from? Or is this even true? And something important to understand is this: your thoughts are something you experience, they're not who you are. When I talk about patterns or programs, I'm talking about the way your mind has learned to interpret the world, the meaning you give things, the assumptions you make, the thoughts that show up automatically. And over time, those patterns become familiar, and familiar starts to feel true. There's a framework that helps explain this. It's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP. And simply put, it's a way of understanding how our thoughts, our language, and our behaviors are connected. It teaches us how to identify the patterns we have that are no longer serving us, so we can begin to change them and create a different desired outcome in our lives. It's been used to help reduce things like anxiety, depression, and to improve overall well being by helping us become aware of these patterns and then gently beginning to shift them. And this can show up in really subtle ways. You might notice the same thought repeating in different situations, a constant sense of pressure, like you should be doing more, a voice in your head that says, I'm not doing enough, I should be further along. You might feel anxious, overwhelmed, even when nothing is immediately wrong. Or you might notice that you override your body's signals and keep going, even when you're tired. And the important thing to understand is these aren't random. These are patterns learned and repeated time after time. Your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings drive your behaviors, and your behaviors shape your reality. And the reason this is even possible is because of something called neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to change, adapt, and form new connections over time. Your brain is not fixed. It is constantly responding to what you think, what you focus on, and what you repeat. So when you begin to change your thoughts, you are quite literally beginning to change your brain. Every time you think a thought, you strengthen a pathway in your brain. And the more you repeat that thought, the stronger that pathway becomes, until eventually it becomes your default. It becomes part of your subconscious mind, the script that runs without even realizing it. But here's the empowering part: the same way those patterns were created, they can be changed. You can begin to create new pathways, new ways of thinking, new ways of responding. And over time, that doesn't just change your thoughts, it changes your behaviors. And those behaviors begin to shape your reality. So, in a very real way, when you change the script in your mind, you change the way you experience your life. So, just pause for a moment and notice, what thoughts are coming up for you most often? Don't analyze it, don't judge it, just notice it. And gently ask yourself, is this true? Or is this something I've learned and had on repeat over time? Because if it's something you've practiced and repeated, It's something you can change. And if you want support with this, I've created a free guided activation called You Are Already Enough. Because so many of these patterns we carry aren't actually ours. They are learned from our parents, our teachers, our environments, and the expectations of society. And over time, those messages become internalized. They become the voice in your head, the thoughts that say, I'm not enough. I need to do more. I should be further along. And most of the time, those thoughts create negative feelings about ourselves. And those feelings shape how we show up, how we respond, and how we move through our lives. So these loops aren't random, they're learned and repeated over time. And the beautiful part is, if they were learned, they can be changed. You can find the link for that free activation in the show notes. And if you want to go a little deeper, I also created an extended version to help you reinforce those new patterns in your subconscious mind. Because repetition is what created the old patterns, and repetition is what helps create new ones. That version is available for an incredible introductory price if this resonates with you. And the link for both can be found in the show notes. So the next time a thought comes up, instead of immediately believing it, pause, notice it, get curious about it, and ask yourself, is this true? Or is this something I've learned and repeated time and time again? Because the thoughts you practice become the patterns you live, and those patterns shape your reality. So when you begin to shift the way you think, even in the small moments, you begin to create something new. And it begins with awareness. If this episode resonated with you, be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. And remember, be gentle with yourself. You are already whole. You are already worthy. You are so deeply loved. It is safe now to return home to yourself. I'll meet you there. I'm Dr. Laura Brennis, and this is Soul Medicine. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and does not establish a doctor-patient relationship. Please continue to work with your own medical professionals for individualized care.